This is why you shouldn't do things when you aren't planned, and I'm serious. Well, I mean, one of my theories about Hamish that he did get in fights has in fact been proven. It was not a hard thing to prove. But yeah. Now another thing I'm wondering about Hamish is how many fights has he been before the Hunger Games, like in school, with Peacekeepers, not including the Reaping Brawl, which itself is a big spoiler. How many other fights has he been in? Here we have the part, I've been waiting for when Hamish comments on the careers, what he really thinks of them. As usual, the kids from Districts 1, 2, and 4, which are nicknamed as careers, seem to have been training for the Hunger Games since birth. Seem to have. Okay, they probably have. Here and there, Chance has been thrown in. Chance has thrown in some additional brawny kids with plenty of scrawny ones balancing up. On the brawny to scrawny scale, I do okay. Largely because all those bags of grain are held for Hattie. But some of the careers could crush me like a bug, and Loa is yet to get her growth. Luella's, yeah, okay. Strapping boy mounts the siege on District 11. You had better be able to run. Uh-huh. Plutarch, who's a cameraman, says, your mentors will talk you through everything. So he has not just a mentor, he has mentors, apparently. Our guides are masterminds of protection Hunger Games, except the District 12 tributes don't have an automatic mentor. We're the only district without living victors. But it took a very long time for all the districts to have living victors, except for 12, in fact. So is it that until then? In 50 years, we've only had one victor, and that was a long time ago. Back then, barely any entirely television. Clips of the old shows. Yeah. Who are our mentors anyway? I asked. So Hamish Abernathy has the same question I do. Who the frick is his mentor? They're in the process of selecting them from the pool of victors not tapped to oversee their own district tributes. Interesting. A lot of people on the Hunger Games Reddit were having this exact theory. That would explain the mentors of the underdog districts from like the 30th to 50th games. There's 24 tributes, so one mentor each. But then from the 11th to 24th games, who are the mentors then? Because then there would still not be enough victors, or okay, especially up to the 24th games, yeah. When the first to 9th games, there were no mentors. The 10th games had student mentors. 10th to 24th, there were, or at least the 11th games, there were not enough victors to mentor every district. Even if you spread the other victors out, or 25th or whatever. But yeah, who was the mentors then? Okay. Some very talented candidates turning. Okay, so at least he doesn't have no mentor. That's nice. Why did District 12 went to... Yeah. I'll take my hot take. This should be obvious. Lucy Gray's victory was not 100% forgotten. Because it was the first to be well televised. There's just too many people watching for it to be completely forgotten. Just too many. Maybe not in 12, but in the capital. And what the heck? Some commenters earlier were saying, but District 12 is like emphasized to be the poorest district. Just because it didn't have TV didn't mean none of the districts did come. Anyway, that's my take. Of course, they hadn't forgotten completely about Lucy Gray. It's just not possible. Like. So I'm on page 54, and apparently, Hamish in the District 12 tributes mentor is supposed to be a victor from another district. That was some of the theories. Some people thought it would be a peacekeeper or a game maker like me. Some people thought it was a victor from another district. Some people thought nobody. They don't have a district mentor, but they didn't say they have no mentor. That said, so far Plutarch seems to be taking the mentor role on. Also, this didn't actually answer what the transition was. Until like the first quarter quell, the 11th games to first quarter quell, who were the mentors then? There weren't enough victors for everyone. And also, why did they decide that victors have to be mentors? So here we got the thing on the compulsive odds maker I've heard about. Wyatt Booker. Just Wyatt. Couple of Booker boys take bets on Hunger Games tributes, like how old will the kids be, theme of town, number of Tezzeret. The betting continues to the game. Odd on bet districts should be illegal, but the peacekeepers don't care. This part is kind of weird that it's illegal. I mean, it's not dividing the capital. They do it in the capital, too. You sure? Nobody understands odds better than a gambler. Although, okay, Wyatt does work blind-eyed and not that smart, but who knows? Wait a minute. Greasy might not be Goosey Gray, but she might still be Cuffy. And I mean from the original trilogy. Panache Barker. District 1 tribute. Train career, roughly 300 pounds. His last name suggests he's related to Palladium Barker, who took the crown 4 years ago, the 46th game winner. Okay. You currently have odds of 5-2. Now, I think a lot about body shape, physicality, and roughly 300 pounds. That opens up a can of worms. First of all, we know that Kato is a big guy, but he couldn't have been nearly that big because he could still climb well, he could still run for a long time. And it's virtually unheard of for a 300-pound person to be able to climb well or run fast for a long time for mutts or say whatnot, right? And this is a serious thing. Like, that's a really excessive body weight. Wouldn't that slow him down? Wouldn't that take a toll on his stamina? But here's two reasons. One, of course, he has a big frame. But two, they're worried about an unreliable food supply in these Hunger Games. So maybe Panache Barker was already 230 pounds. And of course, since he thought, okay, I'm going to go into Quarter Quell, maybe this is a clue that the first Quarter Quell had very little food supply, which is something that I have speculated. The first Quarter Quell is to show that the districts chose this. Then why should it take help at the capital? There was nothing in the cornucopia. The thinner or even the athletically contributes, right? And a fat guy won, or a fat guy had the best chance of winning in the first Quarter Quell. So if Panache Barker was training for the second Quarter Quell, he might have assumed it was similar to the first. And it just bulked himself up from 210 pounds to 300 pounds over the course of a year or so. Because otherwise, slowing yourself down with that much extra weight, and then his odds are 5-2, but you need luck, you need skill, you need stealth, you need all that. That humongous size, you won't be able to do that with, so this is a deliberate strategy. They're expecting a huge lack of food, a very unreliable food supply, and dangerous mutations, but ones that give superficial bites, not ones that go straight for the neck. But they would cause a thinner tribute to bleed out in these games. That's what they expect. So I think Panache Barker actually bulked up on purpose. Okay, because it doesn't make sense for the 74th Games careers to be anywhere near 300 pounds, none of them. They could still run, climb, and all that. But this is a clue to the first Quarter Quell. The capital had to convince its own citizens too. No peace, no hunger, no prosperity, no Hunger Games, no peace. Not surprising at all. They got their tributes to the academy. The gymnasiums have been empty for close to 40 years, which is since the 10th Games. This is another tie-in between the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in this book, and probably helps explain why that book was released first. Okay. So in the 50th Games, we can assume the Academy, as in Snow's old school's gym, was a tribute center? That's interesting. So Haymitch has been stripped down, and he's with the other boy tributes, so the half-dozen careers look like they spend their spare time posing for statues. Another dozen of us might stand a chance for handy with an axe. And the remaining half-dozen are pitiful, all hollow, rib cages and matchstick bones. Okay, so yeah, a lot of the non-careers are actually pretty tough, yeah. Panache, we recline to the training, struts around thrusting his private people and grunting much to amuse the other careers. He makes the mistake of trying this one, the District 11 tributes, and wind up with a strict kick in the gut. Panache is about to retaliate when the shower heads come to life, soaking us with scalding water. We all dodge around trying to evade this Things go from bad to worse, and there's water replaced by a noxious Sylvie spray that triggers my gag reflex and burns my eyes like pepper dust. The water returns, but this time we're fine. Okay. This is amazing.